anything was gonna happen, it was gonna happen where I could see. So he did right. He came home. He parked in the driveway. Little did I know when I looked outside, I was gonna see whole caravan, 20 of them. I say did. So anyway, this dude gets in front of my tree, in front of my house. He does his whatever he's doing in front of the like this. And he's talking and he's doing whatever. And later on, my aunt in the house, and she looked and she got away from the window because she said she saw what he was doing. She ain't know what he was doing, but he was doing something. It made her feel uncomfortable. She got away from the window. Because they was in the window chanting, doing their stuff too. But I seen him from inside the cop car, and I was sending him, and I was tearing him up. Ogun was already in the yard. I already got protection all around my house. I already know I done invoked the army around us. In a minute, all of this gonna dissipate. I'm already on that. It only take them about 15 minutes. And that's about what it took. It seemed longer because you're going through it. But it took about 15 minutes. And they dispersed. They was getting the hell out of there. Somebody called them on the phone. They was like, pew. Whatever they heard on their phone, they was getting the hell out of there. I told bro, get every last one of them cars and the numbers of the cars on video. And they start bagging up, going the other way. They didn't want us to record. It was crazy. I said, yeah. So it's all a work in progress. Soon we won't have to deal with these type of situations. But like I said, when you a trailblazer, you're at the forefront of something, it's never easy. And if you're not built for this, I suggest you take a backseat, because you just got to be built for it. You got to be born for this. You got to know that you know that you know. And if you easy and weak to back down, they will swallow you. This is how predators are. This is how bullies are. It's the same type of energy. If you show any type of weakness, they will consume you just like that. Just pretend like you sell wolf tickets. That keep, and I mean, it's a lot of brothers out there that do that. They sell wolf tickets for years and don't nobody know they weak because they be in the hood talking all of this and all of that until it really comes down to some real work and some real business. Then you know who they are. But they get away with that for a long time because they portray an image. You got to fake it till you make it. You can't let these people see no fear. Even if you're afraid, you can't let them see it, But it's definitely a lifestyle that I have to live by, and that's to invoke the ancestors first. Ashe. Saru, you wanted to say something?
No, I just said facts.
Mm-hmm. Empress.
Yeah.
I want to tell a story about an encounter that I had that I called the answer.
Okay.
One time I was I had moved to like a neighbor, just like when I first moved here to Virginia. I've got this habit of, like, I'll walk to the store, like, 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. The time is really of no essence to me. So one night I'm walking to the store like about 1 o'clock. So one night I'm walking to the store about 1:35. I'm coming from the store, and I noticed these two young men, coming. Teenage boys, look like maybe 17, 18, 19, coming toward me, but they're on the other side of the street. Once you see one cross over, so coming from Brooklyn, living in, born in Bed-Stuy, I already know what I'm looking at. Oh, look at these two guys. So the one crossing the street, he's coming down now in front of me, and the other one's walking past down behind me. Right? So the one that's walking toward me, right? Me knowing the sciences, I invoke the presence of the ancestors, and I said, I want to see, I'm going to teach this young man. So he walks up on me, he got his hand up on his shirt, and as soon as he walks up on me, I said, peace, young God. The minute I said, peace, young God, his hand got stuck on the gun in his pants and he can't get it out. You see, that one word, peace, that one word, peace, changes the entire atomic structure. You got to understand the power of the word. So I said, peace, young God. And remember, I can't tell you to remember, but I used to counsel teachers. So I kind of understand their structure. So I know when I saw the robbery going to take me, I was like, they think they're going to rob me? Especially when you know the ancestors and the gods. So I just continued to walk straight up on him. And as soon as he walked up on me, I said, peace, young God. I looked him right in his eyes and said, peace, young God. So the hand got stuck in there. He's like, peace, sir. And he just walked around me. And then when he walked past me, I turned around. I paused kind of, and looked and turned around. And the guy that was behind him is looking at him saying, yo, why you ain't get him? And he's telling the guy, come on. So everything, you have to understand, everything is energy. And there's a phrase that I want to share with you that, you might want to research this phrase. It goes like this. He who knows the secret to frequency vibration holds the scepter of power. I know anything that me and the Empress is talking about when it comes to like understanding the sciences and how to manipulate the elements, the earth, the wind, fire, and the water. If you want to understand how to manipulate the four elements, research that phrase. He who knows the secret to frequency vibration holds the scepter of power. Everything is in the words, heart, mind, and how you work with the God.
Energy. Everything is energy.
Everything is energy.
Yeah.
And the forces that walk upon white guys walk upon you, that's energy. They are low dense energy. And they're programmed.
Low level energy.
Yes,
that's why
that you have.
I couldn't feel nothing. I couldn't feel nothing they was doing because, for one, I always invoke the ancestors. They're gonna shield you no matter what. It can actually take place physically because remember, they're not physical beings. They are doing their powers in metaphysical terms.
Yeah, they're using the sciences too.
So even if something physically happens to you, it can happen, but have no effect. That's the thing. So energy is definitely everything. It ain't no other way around it. And I do know that they came there, they were ordered there to do some damage. They was ordered there to do some damage, but they couldn't do it. Just like the officer reached for, bro, did you see the officer reach for his gun on me? He couldn't pull it out.
Nope. On they triggers too. A lot of them, you know? And I just told them, man, ain't nobody no threat. Y'all a threat to yourself. Can y'all holster y'all weapons? Like, seriously, holster y'all weapons. And I start seeing, like, the energy just swarm around. But it's like...
That's because you invoked the power.
Yes.
You had to invoke the power over them.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Like I said, I'm new to a lot of this, but I done went through a lot real fast. So, even recently, I had an incident with bounty hunters. I got a case in Michigan. The case is closed. They closed it a couple months ago, but they in their feelings because even going in here and arguing with the peons, I could kick their ass verbally. As far as know, but further studying more, I'm learning. I'm still giving them subject jurisdiction. I mean, not subject, but I'm still giving them implied jurisdiction by going into their backyard. So I guess they trying to say I contracted with them still.
Fix your mic.
Okay, can you hear me better now, Empress?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess they saying I contract with them still. So they trying to get me to go to a psyche evaluation. But the judge let me go. I'm not about to go and let no stranger talk to me. Like, I'm a grown fucking man with 11 kids. Ain't nobody going to talk to me. Like, so the bounty hunters, they set me up, but they didn't. The ancestors showed me every I pulled up to this property. You know, I do construction work, so I remodel properties. You know, so they called me and hit me with something that's common. Hey, I met you out here. I got your business card. I wonder if you could come look at this property. So before I got there, 5 minutes before I got there, the ancestors showed me everything to the point where I should have pulled off. I shouldn't even went in. So I get there and everything already had played out in my head, but the ancestors basically were telling me now that I took a week to sit back and analyze everything, they're telling me is, get this over with. We got it. And it's the same thing Empress told me from the jump. They a private company, so you know, you negotiate something with them. And I did. I told them I'll pay for it, but can you fill out this W-9? Basically, and the owner know, like, oh, he trying to get my EIN so he could get his money back or make me pay for this. You know, and I told him, hey, the case is closed. You shouldn't be pursuing me any longer. So I go in the house, man, it's about 10 of these motherfuckers in there. So, I mean, they aggressive as fuck. They got some nice guns too. I wish I could have took them from their ass. But I go in there, and this was, I mean, when you invoke, so I already said my prayers that day. So I already invoked them. But I invoked them before I went in the house. Whatever goes on, don't take me away from my babies and my nation state and my purpose before I feel it. So I go in there. I mean, they rush me aggressive. One is like, a couple of them like 6'6", big ass sloppy 3. Look, I just immediately, I was comfortable though, because I done been in a bunch of sticky shit, but I ain't never been in it with my ancestors. So I'm like, man, I ain't about to fight y'all. I understand y'all got a job to do. You know, do whatever y'all comfortable, but it ain't no need to hurt me, because I ain't in no position to hurt y'all. Y'all got the ups, but how can we resolve this? You got to take it up with the courts. I'm like, man, nah, I ain't going to jail. I'm telling y'all right now, y'all ain't about to go get me with these fucking crooks. I don't trust them. Fuck what y'all talking about. What's the fee? So they're like, you got to come out of $8 grand. So I had 56 on me at the time. So I'm like, all right, bet. I called a few good people that's loyal to me. Hey, man, I need to hold a band. I need to hold this, woo, woo, woo. The mother of my kids, she go get the money. She bring it back. They let me go. But the whole time, I don't know what the hell I'm saying to them, but I'm saying some shit to them. You know, all I can remember is goon goon. I remember that. I was saying, so they let me go though, and they was like, hey, your debt with us is fulfilled. I just didn't want to have this money come out of my pocket. So I said, I thought about it. I said, so it still ain't fair for me. But then I'm like, why don't I get them mad? It's just a minor bump in the road. I got the personnel around me to help me get the money back. You know, he didn't want no money took from his family. He could have been a dick and arrested me. He didn't. You know, ancestors was like, yo, you own 2 businesses in town. These crackers can run in and embarrass, try to dirty your name and make people uncomfortable to do business with you. You know,
Yep.
spiritual warfare is with your family, so everybody will try to tell every house you're a part of where you're at. So they're like, yo, just you did the right thing, get that out the way. You know, you just lost a little finance, and that's a little time and energy. You get that back. So I guess all I'm trying to say is you're gonna be tested, you're gonna go through some shit, but don't fold and trust your ancestors, you know, because everybody around me, all I'm hearing is these bounty hunters is beating people ass, they fucking them up bad, at least to me, when they feel you want to run. And just say your prayers. Definitely say your prayers and honor your ancestors, you know, and do it your way. Don't do it nobody else's way. Do it your way. You know, if you got a tongue, politic with them the way you grew up. If you got a peaceful tongue, politic with them. You know what I'm saying? But just don't be disrespectful, because they could do some shit to you. They want to at the end of the day. So I say I yield the floor.
Shay, thank you, Emma. Professor L, you was about to say something?
Yeah, that's when he was talking about oh my goodness, it was so strong when he said it too. Oh yeah, when the officers they couldn't look him in the eyes. You see, that's very, very crucial to understand what's happening there. Remember, the ancestors are operating through you. So when you gaze at them, you are looking at them with the power of the ancestors. And the ancestors are gazing upon the core of who they are. So remember, they cannot even look at you, especially when you call the ancestors, because briefly, scientifically, everything on the outside is really going on the inside. So they're really looking at, when you're looking at them, they feel the eyes direct energy. Let me just put it briefly like that. Your eyes have the power to direct energy. So when you're looking at them, this is also having an effect on them. So that's why they cannot look at you. They can't look at you. They already know who you are. What they're not used to is your authority that you're presenting. They're not used to it. So that's what they're not used to that.
So it's like looking at the ray of the sun directly.
It's too powerful. That's just like when I wear my afro up. If you ever go and wear your natural hair and it's just all over the place, and you are a power source. You come in the room and they just have to look down. It's like, that's why they had us tame ourselves, because our energy is too powerful for them to withstand. They just can't. It's just something about it that they cannot handle.
Feeding off what the Empress just said, now do people understand why you have white teachers in front of all these Moorish children? The whole process is to turn down the energy. They've been dumbing us down for years, because once they reduce your energy, you are much more able to be controlled.
Yeah. But you know, they walked into a hornet's nest. I got so much stuff in my yard and in my front bushes, in my front of my house, buried, everything.
Empress, I have a question. I've been wanting to ask you, what was the time frame exactly from the time
9 o'clock.
No, I mean from the time that the people got there, started gathering at your house, and then it was 9 o'clock. That means that y'all was just getting into it and everything, and they just keep
ritual. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. They did that strategically. Yes, blocked the whole street off. So if anybody was trying to get there between 9 and 9:15, or however long they was there, they couldn't even get down the street. They was passing the house. People was calling me, telling me they.
I say, Empress, and all I kept hearing in my head was, there's definitely more nobles who was credible to be there. But at the same time, everybody was there who was meant to be there for that reason.
Yeah.
You know,
Ashe.
because I just pulled up before all that took down. Like the timing was crazy. I
Yeah.
dang near should have missed it. You know, I'm in a new city I ain't familiar with, and I'm getting straight there without any interruption or the GPS is going crazy. And my GPS is acting funny too, you know. But Professor L, to touch on what you said, when you said energy, when they want to turn down our energy, I'm a part of one of the biggest sports pools in Michigan right now. And when I say my young dogs from football to basketball, we handle business, you know. And a lot of them I'm realizing they craving to come talk to me, not about sports, not about the little pretty girl in the music video. It's about, so what is we? We ain't black. That's slave term. We ain't got no rights. We Moors. And my nephew, he actually one of the biggest superstars in the country right now, his age. He just turned 13, 215, and he's 6'3". Super athlete. Like he on the route of being the next Magic Johnson or LeBron James type stuff. So so when you say don't turn down the energy, my whole city, they damn near got a problem with everybody I'm affiliated with when it comes to sports. But we make them lay down because we're so successful and we're so sincere in our intent when we cultivating these kids. So we also teaching them, yo, it's okay to be you, yo. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree with you sagging your pants, but nigga, if that's you and that's your alter ego, well make you look good then. You know what I'm saying? At least make sure it hang off your shoes correctly. You'll grow out of that and mature. I don't want to mandate nothing on you because God and our ancestors ain't mandating nothing on us, and they got the power too in so many ways. So I'm teaching them something. In my first 2 years of sports, anybody knew we got our ass kicked every game for dinner, 2 years straight. But one thing I did, I gave all the kids who basically was underprivileged a chance to say, hey man, least I could do, I'm helping rob y'all parents of energy is give back to their kids. You know what I'm saying? And anybody who know anything comprehend when I just said that, and nothing I'm proud of, but it was my life for a long time. So I give back to the kids everywhere I can to counter my own karma, you know, because it makes me happy anyway, because they the purest. So when I say, Professor, again, when you say don't let them turn down your energy, we walk in gymnasium, we walk in football fields, it's contagious. And we've been doing this for 8 serious years, to the point where I'm so confident we got several little dudes who bounce to high heights in their careers as athletes. And one thing I do, I'm instilling in them is know who you are. That's cool, you make it. But if you don't make it and know who you are, you just want us to discuss it. The ship is turning around, like Empress said, and y'all gonna have to run with it. Y'all, you know, so, it's to the point now where I don't coach, but I still train several of the kids I help build from the mud. And every now and again I coach because they just beg me, like, coach, come coach. We mix your energy. And so, make a long story short, I'm sorry, because I normally don't talk too much because I'm still in my learning stages. I like to listen. The spirit is on me right now. So I come to a high school game. Some of my babies, they made it to high school. And they doing very great. And so they play their game, they play the JV, they play the freshmen, you know, and they win their games. So they go sit in the crowd. And this Caucasian woman, she's the athletic director. Another poisonous position amongst us, you know. And she tell my babies to quiet down at a football game, and we outside. Anybody who know these kids or unbalanced environments know these kids are so disrespectful. They don't fear nothing. They don't care for nothing. You know, it's just hard to really get respect from them. So, my babies, they ain't like that. You know, they got their moment. If they don't love you, you know they don't love you. But when they're around elders, they respect you. So they in a group of themselves. They like 30 deep. We at the game, outside, football game. And this Caucasian woman, this Albion, you know, she comes to tell my babies to quiet down outside. because across the field, I guess our energy was too intimidating or wearing off on the other LBIs over there. So they don't know me. I got a couple coaches in the school because my name is kind of dirty around here as far as me getting respect. So I ain't been in no rush to get in no high school, and I got several offers, but the ancestors like, it ain't your time and wait. You know? So I had to introduce myself to this woman, and I tell her, I said, excuse me, did you just tell my babies to quiet down outside at a football game and they're not harming or disrespecting anyone? She said, well, yeah, I just wanted them to be more in line or more professional.
Professional? At a game?
A football game, Empress? This is what this woman say. So I cussed her without cussing her because I still want them to know how to address the situation respectable and still get the point across. So I tell her, okay, I said, let me introduce myself. I said, I'm Brother Amatai. I'm responsible for this wave coming here these last few years. I said, every year y'all enrollment go up 50 to 100 kids. I said, y'all school is on the verge of shutting down. And if you want this wave still, I think you should really be mindful of how you come at my bankers. We outside. I think you totally out of line, and I think you owe them an apology. So I said, I know the principal. Me and the principal, we real close. He like an older uncle. So I tell her, I said, so moving forward, hopefully we don't have this situation any longer, So she told these people I cussed her out. I called her all type of names, the typical shit, because her feelings hurt. Because I just checked her in a way that she had to feel it and respect it. And she used to seeing brothers being submissive.
Right.
I don't submit to no woman besides Mother God and my Empress and my mother at times. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, nah, you got the wrong one here. And my babies just looking at me. When I turned around and looked at them, they just gave it a nod like, yeah, coach. Yeah, check that bitch. Fuck her. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this the energy I gotta give them. I can never let nobody dumb down our spirit because they've been.
What they try to do with my son repeatedly. This is about the fourth time they done harassed him, knowing that they cannot approach with our insignia on the car. We're not your property. It's already identified who we are. Excuse me. They try to break the spirit of the child. That's their intent. But if they're deeply rooted, they won't be able to.
I think there's a possibility that they're clones. So I want people to be aware of that. There's a possibility they're making clones. They're clones, so you're not really dealing with another human. That is the first thing you must remember. We are melanated. So we resonate at a very high frequency without even knowing sciences. We resonate at a very high frequency. That's what it's all about. That's what everyone is after. That's why everybody tries to control a sector with their dark melanated aboriginals, because we are the wealth of the land. It is a strong connection between your melanin and the minerals, the gold, the diamonds, and all of the stuff in the ground. There's a connection between that. I can't even go into the details, but understand that. That's why these albions gravitate to your area, and they try to see if they can assimilate. And if once you allow them to assimilate, now we're going to see if we can start to conquer. And we're going to see how passive they are. Once we see they're passive, now we're going to just systematically just separate them and tear them apart and subjugate them. And this is what now when you know who you are, the first thing you got to understand is you have to speak with authority of your melanin. And that's what I tell people all the time. And the first thing that goes through my mind when I see the cops, they don't even know as an L. It is L. And one who is adept at the manipulation of the forces. You touch this melanin, and I'm telling you, you'll be dead in 24 hours. 24 hours. That's the law. That's the law. I'm an L, short for Elohim. Elohim, earth, wind, water, all the elements, all of that makes up Elohim. So once you learn how to manipulate those forces, you then make the laws. Remember, you're an elf. So if you're an elf, master the laws, then manipulate the laws. But you cannot manipulate laws until you first learn the laws. You have to master the laws. I mean, it's a lot, but this thing, this methodologies and books and stuff on it. But my whole point is, you must be able to execute your power as it's more than just you standing there. Remember, everything is working through your melanin. The ancestors are working through your melanin. It's a scientific expression, but the ancestors working through your melanin, and you really have total control of all in your consciousness. That's what they're looking for you to exert right there. They're looking for you to exert that overall power. That's why, like the brother said, they can't look you in your eyes because the power of the ancestors is looking right through you, and that is too much energy. That is power.
And they enter sorcery too, so they know what it is to look into someone's eyes that is dominant, is superior to you. You're going to get zapped. So they don't want to do that. They smart enough to know better.
So, Professor, at the end of the day, what you're telling to us and what I'm comprehending is tame what we created, or they will create more shit in our lives.
Yeah, you see, their whole process, you see, when they migrate to this land, or when they was, I like to say, dumped their prison shit in the 1600s, they first came observing. Look at the movie Gangs in New York. They first came observing. And they know we was all around here. We was all around, so we ain't mess with them. They ain't mess with us. But remember, after the prisoners, a lot of them finished their indentured servitude time, a lot of the women start mixing in the community, just like they're mixing the snow bunnies in the community today. And people don't understand, there's a reason for that taking place. Once again, they are making another attempt to lower the level of energy amongst these young gods, because that young white female is low level energy. And the minute you consummate with her, the minute that orgasm takes place, you have just lowered your energy to her level. And at the same time, you've mixed your melanated godlike energy with her, giving her your energy. And process that they
do it perfectly.
Hi family, I'm signing books today. Get your copy. It's more than a real estate book. It's an American history lesson. Get your signed copy by the author, sent to you with a special message from Eureka M. Ramjour. Get your copy today. Myth Behind Foreclosure, Wall Street, Big Banks and You, by Girl from Detroit. Peace and love.